Hello, welcome to King Axel's Movie Lounge. I'm your host, King Axel, and today we're going to be talking about theater viewings that I saw in the year 2023. If this is your first time uh, checking out one of my videos, I really like to react to music and I really like to watch a lot of movies. I want to do a lot more movie reactions on this channel. However, the editing process, the copyright, and just my new routine because life kind of got in the way for a few months and unfortunately quite permanently. I just I'm trying to figure out time that I'm going to be able to do all of that. So while still maintain a very well balanced um if not leaning more heavily into having a social life. I don't want to just sit here on my computer all day and have that be my life. So I do like to go out and meet with friends and have fun. And so, being a full-time content creation really is like a second job. Um, and so you really have to sacrifice some other things like going out and hanging out with friends. And for now, I'm at a period where I would rather be doing that. Um, that's not a knock on anybody that does content creation because I'm sure that they have a very full social life. But just for personal reasons, because of the way my life has shaped out, I really haven't had a lot of those experiences in a long while. And so I want to kind of go out and live it up. So for those reasons, I'm not putting out a whole lot of content. However, I don't want to abandon this channel completely. I do want to put out videos every now and again and keep an audience entertained. So if you guys have suggestions on other videos that you would like me to do, maybe other tier lists even, I'm happy for all suggestions for sure. Um with that being said, I have a couple of other tier list videos out of my theater viewings. First, I did from 2011 to 2020 because I didn't see very many movies in that time frame, and so it was easier just to combine it into one video. Then I did 2021, 2022, and now we're working on 2023. I will do 2024 at the beginning of next year, but that's going to be a very long one, so be prepared because I really kicked my movie watching up in gear. I astronomically in compared to this kind of video in particular. So, with that being said, without further ado, let's move on to my tier list. So up top we have these categories. We have I'll Never Forget It. Why? Because it was just so good. Loved it, liked it. It was okay. Didn't like it. Don't remember it. I fell asleep. Why? Because sometimes that just happens, and I'm sorry about it. But I'm human. I need my sleep too, and sometimes I just don't get enough sleep the night before. And I absolutely hated it. Now, I didn't. This was once I started becoming, once I started becoming what I would consider an avid movie watcher in 2021, this was my weakest year for films as far as actually going out and attending them. So we only have 10 total. So it's going to make for quite a short video. But that's alright. We'll put it out anyways. First up, we have Gran Turismo. And this is the first movie that I saw with my friend Chase since Deadpool 2. Back in 2018, I believe. So it had been a while, a good 5 years. First time we saw a movie together. And it was a really, really good one. Honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I love this movie. I'd seen the Stranger Things series, so I was very well versed with David Harbour. It was interesting to see Orlando Bloom out of nowhere. I hadn't heard about him in forever. And I thought that the main character, the British guy, did a really fantastic job. I felt the tension of the cars racing at high speeds. I felt the tension of the accidents that happened in it. Overall, I didn't really play the video games too much. I mean, I just figured they were standard racing games, but I really appreciated the way that they put onto screen the simulation style and almost made it feel like you, as the video game player, were in this new simulation. I really did respect that. So the visuals were great. Thought the acting was good. The storyline front to back was pretty solid. Honestly, I loved it, and I'm glad that I went. Next, we have The Matrix, and I'm going to get so much flack for this, but I don't care. I hate The Matrix. I hate it. This was the first time that I really wanted to just walk out of the theater. I'd seen the movie before. It's not like I'd never seen it and, didn't know what to expect. I knew what it was. I just think that, unfortunately, it's been brought to public attention so much, and a lot of people really believe that we're living in the Matrix, and I don't believe that. Those people would say that I'm blind and I'm fooling myself, and that's cool. You can believe that if you want. I'm choosing to believe that this is real and this is real life. I believe in God. Um, and so I think all of that kind of conspiracy theorist talk has turned me completely off to the Matrix franchise entirely. I just don't. I'm bored with it. I don't like it when they were, dodging all those bullets and stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm not very articulate about why I didn't like it, I guess, but I don't know. I felt like it's just there's way better sci-fi films out there. I feel like it's way overrated. And if it hadn't been beaten to death by people that believe that that's actually real, then um, maybe I wouldn't be so against it now, but and I know that maybe some of you guys are conspiracy theorists, and that's fine. Like I said, I'm not going to say anything negative or bash you because you have the right to believe whatever you want. But for me, I just do not. So it's hard for me to watch something like that and enjoy it when there's so much political context that comes with it nowadays. And that's part of it too. Is when I watch a movie, I don't really want to watch it for the politics side of things. I don't want the political aspect unless, like Reagan is out right now. Obviously, he's a president. You know what I mean? There's going to be huge political, like you go in expecting that, right? But this, in my opinion, was just meant to be a cool new sci-fi thing. And it got turned into a political thing. And I think that's what turns me off there. But I'm not trying to deter anyone from my channel. I'm not going to turn this into some sort of, I'm going to bash your politics. I don't care. I really don't. Well, for me, that is why I hated The Matrix. Um, Fast 10. Okay. We are almost out of water, guys. This movie sucks. It really does. However, my friend and I, he invited me to go see it. And I agreed because you gotta watch them all, right? No matter how bad they get. And it's better than Fast 9. So at worst, I would put it and didn't like it. However, we cracked jokes the entire time, and it was okay. Because nobody around us told us to be quiet. We were quiet enough to where it was just amongst ourselves, but we were cracking jokes the whole time and making light of it. So for that, I had a positive experience with it. The movie itself still sucked. I didn't really like Jason Momoa being a very flamboyant style, kind of want to be Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't feel like that really fits his vibe. We have all these big macho tough guys that want to be funny now, and I get it. You want more to you than just being Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Arnold was funny sometimes too, but overall, if you compare like Chris Hemsworth to Schwarzenegger, you know what I mean? Or in this case, um, I just said his name, Jason Momoa. It's very heavy into the comedy, whereas before it was very heavy into the action with a comedy taste. This is kind of the opposite. It's more comedy with some action in it. And I don't like that as much. So, but I was able to laugh at it, and that's probably what made it okay. Next, we have Oppenheimer, and boom, 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 boom. Best movie of the year. No doubt about it. I'll never forget it. Now, granted, I didn't see Poor Things until the following year, but even with that being said, um, Oppenheimer was a master class in filmmaking. 100%. And I really went into this focused. I sat down and it was kind of early in the morning, so I was still kind of tired. By the time I sat down in that theater, I said, no, I'm going to pay attention to this. And so I was paying attention more than just the plot line. I was paying attention to what was going on in the background, the focus levels, what was blurred out. I was paying attention to the way that the set was laid out and prop pieces here and there. I was paying attention to what scenes had the black and white filter and what scenes were filmed in full color. Um, I paid attention to it all. Exceptional cast. Robert Downey Jr. was amazing. Cillian Murphy was amazing. Josh Peck, out of nowhere, was really good in his role. Um, and you know, this movie really psyched me out too because I was watching it, and there's a moment where the bomb is going to go off. We all know, and if that spoils some, Oppenheimer made the bomb, so we expect to see the bomb. Okay. Um, and I'm waiting for it, and I'm waiting for it, and I'm waiting for it. And I thought that Nolan was going to take a directorial decision where we see the bomb go off, but we don't hear it, and we're just left with what it could have been, or leave it up to our imagination, and that sort of thing. Um, and so after I waited what felt like eternity, I leaned back in my seat, I'm like, this, are you serious? And then boom, it hit. Right there in the chest. And I was like, oh my god. Like it really, really psyched me out. And for what I understand, that was the exact time length that it took for the bomb to actually be heard from when they lit it off. And one of the greatest quotes in there was I wish I could remember it exactly, but you know, he's talking to Truman and he says something like, nobody's gonna remember you because you made it. They're gonna remember me because I'm the one who dropped it. And I was like, that is so true because Cillian Murphy, he's feeling sorry for himself, and I get it. I do get why he is. You know, he created this thing and it turned out to murder hundreds and millions of people, right? I don't know if it's hundreds of millions, but a crap ton of people. And so he's got to live with that for the rest of his life. And I get that. I do. I really do. But also, it's like, you're not the only one, bud. And so, with all of that, and on top of that, Rami Malek was in it again. And, well, I say again, because now I've seen 3 movies with him in it. And that was Bohemian Rhapsody, that was No Time Left to Die, and then this. And you know, I looked at the cast member and I saw everyone who was going to be in it, and of course there were so many I forgot some. But you know, I watched Rami Malek, and a really important thing that I picked up on that I haven't heard anyone else actually mention, so I'm going to make it very clear what I saw. When you are introduced to him, he's always with somebody. And whoever he's with speaks for him. He's almost like a mute. He didn't have any lines. I saw him once. I saw him twice. He didn't say anything. And then I saw him a third time. And you know, the last time that I saw him, he finally spoke. And when he finally spoke, it was perfect. It There was a reason for it. He didn't say a single word until the exact time when he needed to. And that made his character, in my opinion, so much stronger. The um the scene where they keep moving the bouquet in front of another and kind of closing them out, and finally somebody just moves it, and they're like, no, we are going to handle this all together. We are all going to talk about it jointly and figure this out. That was such an incredible symbol to me. Because they literally were shutting somebody out. Oh, I'm trying to talk to you, so move it. And now he can't say anything. Oh, well, I want to say something now. It's in front of me. You just put it. I'm going to put it back in front of this guy. And finally, someone's like, no, no, screw that, and moves it. and it's gone, and there's 12 of us here, or however many it was. I know I'm going on and on about this, but I really want to express why this movie, I place it as, and I'll never forget it. And some people didn't like it, and I don't really understand why, because for me, it truly was a masterclass in filming a movie as a whole. It was a 3 hour and 6 minute drama, and time just flew right on by. All right, moving on, guys. Now we have Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, this one came back to an anniversary as well. All right, and next up we have Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl. Yes, this one came back to theaters. It was a 20th anniversary, and I got to see this with my good friend Ernesto, and we both love this movie. So, of course, I had to invite him, and we went to the Alamo, which meant that they were able to bring us food while we watched the movie as well. And we had just an amazing time, honestly, man. I mean, you can't go wrong. See, I had to see this movie because I first watched this in 2016, maybe early 2017. Ever. Right. So I had not seen any of the Pirates movies. And when I saw Johnny Depp do his little run like that, I laughed so hard. I loved every bit of this movie. This movie is what got me into movies, got me where I am today. I had a favorite movie before that. It's still my favorite movie to this day, but I have to give 100% credit to Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean for making me love movies entirely. And so for that reason, I had to go see it in theaters. It was an amazing time. The food we had was good. It was kind of expensive for both of us, but you know what? I don't regret at all. The next time it comes to theaters, I will watch it again and again and again. So this is one I probably watch every year. I don't know if I watched it last year though, but it's one I wouldn't. Well, yeah, it was last year. It was 2023. Duh. And this was the first year, by the way, that I was doing my reviews. So I started doing my reviews and typing them up on an actual typewriter January 1st, 2023. And I started with Gilda. Every movie that I watched, I did a review for it. And then in August, maybe a little bit before then, that's when I discovered Letterboxd. And it made it even more easier for me to do reviews. And so, um, that's how I know for a fact that I watched this movie last year because I reviewed it and I watched it the year before that. I don't know. It's just 10 out of 10. Never go wrong. With that being said, I will never forget it because it's just so amazing. He's just so funny, man. And just recently, I heard that he showed up to some kids in Spain, which ironically is where Amber Heard is at in Spain as well, dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow. So I got to give him a ton of credit for that. Next, we have Jurassic Park. And I got to see this in 3D as well. In this movie, it was okay. People are going to hate me. How can you not like Jurassic Park? I just don't love it. I'm sorry. It's fine. I mean, it does a great job. You know, Spielberg really did an amazing job. I know it's a Crichton book, but for me, I know why people love it too. And it's just not, 10 out of 10 for me. Some of those blockbusters are just mid-level for me. They just really are. And it's cool that they got a whole franchise out of it. And now the secondary franchise, which I still have yet to see a couple of those movies. In fact, I think I've only seen Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. I don't think I've seen any of the other sequels. Um, but yeah, it's just okay for me. I mean, I had the option to go home and watch the other two that came after this, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. Same thing with Matrix. I don't care to see the other two. Next, we have Dungeons and Dragons, and this one I liked it. I got to see this in 4DX. It did not have 3D, but it did have the 4DX, and so that was cool. It was a little disappointing that it wasn't 3D. I was expecting it to be. I thought that was automatically a part of it, but I guess not. That was when I learned that. And so that did kind of take away from it because that was kind of the whole reason why I wanted to go. But, you know, I still had a really good time. Chris Pine did great. What was her name? Sophia Lillis? I think that was her name. She did great. I don't know. My fat dragon right there. And you can see that's why I chose that cover. Hilarious. So overall, really good time. Next, we have Killers of the Flower Moon. And this is going to be our first introduction to Didn't Like It. I I know it was a Scorsese film. I know that it had DiCaprio and De Niro in it. Lily Gladstone, I never heard of her before, and now I had. And I watched it. I did like a lot of the scenery. Um, but I don't know. I really felt like the whole thing was dragged out to be way longer than it needed to be. If it had only, it was like a 3 hour long movie, if I remember correctly. And if it had only been an hour and a half or two, granted, yeah, like you would have to cut some things out of the book. And on the one hand, like that's why we always say the books are better than the movies because they cut so much out. But also, like it makes you want to read the book if you haven't yet. So I think in a particular instance like this, when you put too much in a movie, it draws from it. And I hated. Well, I don't know why DiCaprio looked like that the whole time with that frown on his face. Can't even do it. Let me watch myself. Hold on. The whole time. Oh, we need some light in this. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been watching myself. Man, I feel too much. All right, I'm wrapping this up because I can tell that it's starting to get some shade in and it's starting to get dark, and I don't want to go out and pull out my ring light. So let's wrap this up. Lastly, we have Ant-Man Quantumania. This was another 4DX movie that I got to see. I don't think it was in 3D either. I don't remember this one. I'm gonna be honest. I think I walked away liking it. I thought that I don't even remember his character's name. The Humpty Dumpty looking dude, man. Like, I don't know. I thought it was funny, but also like trying too hard to be funny. Um, that's just kind of my take on that. I don't know. Corey Stoll. That's the actor's name. I was excited to see what Kang was going to be as far as a villain in the rest of the MCU, and then obviously, um, the allegations. And I don't know if they've been found proven to be true or not, but that's why I'm using the word allegation. I know that all came out, and he lost his position. He lost the role, and um, that's an unfortunate thing for everyone around. Um, we're just gonna keep it at that. So we don't get to see where Kang is gonna go. Some people have even said that they don't even know where it would go in the first place. I don't read the comics, guys, so I don't know. But I heard that was gonna be the next big bad guy after Thanos. So now we gotta worry about Doctor Doom. And again, I have no idea about him, so. And then last but not least, we have Napoleon. And without hesitation, no question about it, I absolutely hated Napoleon. I hate Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. I kind of hate him as a person. I don't wish ill on him or anything, but for a lot of reasons, I don't like the roles that he plays. He always plays a fucking asshole. Except in Walk the Line, he actually did a good job in that one. It was the only character that I really liked seeing him play. everyone else. Granted, I haven't seen every single one of his movies, but I feel like I've seen enough to say I hate Joaquin Phoenix. I really, really do. But you know what? I pushed it aside. I said maybe this one will be all right. I'm excited to see Napoleon. I saw Desiree with Marlon Brando um beforehand, to kind of compare the two, and I was like, let's see if Joaquin can pull out a Brando. No, 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 not even close. I am ashamed to even admit that I even thought that he could hold a candle to Brando. Um, I had my best hopes for him. I was like, okay, let's do a Napoleon. Brando, he's good, but also that's 60 years old now, right? It's been a long time. Let's see if you can, match it or give us some improvement. Fuck that storyline up so goddamn bad. On top of that, he turned Napoleon into this little bitch, dude. And I hated it. And I'm not sorry that I'm not mincing my words, but I'm not going to. And Ridley Scott basically, what did he say? Were you there? Are you serious, buddy? Were you there? You can't tell me the history because you weren't there. Oh my God. Okay. I could rant forever about Napoleon, but suffice it to say, terrible movie, and I lost all respect that I forced myself to gain for Joaquin Phoenix to watch this movie. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to go see Joker Part 2. No, I did not like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I didn't like that movie. I didn't like him playing it. I didn't like it. And it's not because I don't like Joaquin Phoenix, because I didn't hate him yet. I hated him later. But when I watched it, I did not like it of my own volition. So it was just my opinion at the time. Anyways, like I said, I'm trying to kind of rush through this and wrap it up because I know that it's getting darker. There's no joy in not being able to see me. So you have to rely on this really terrible audio, which I'm still really, really bad at because I just don't know how to do all those settings. But I'm finding my way. Um, Anyways, if you like this kind of content, please like this video. Comment below if you have any other suggestions or feedback for me. I'm willing to take it all. You can use this template if you've seen all of these movies, plus more. You can add your own movies to it as well. I didn't fall asleep for any movies last year, but then again, I only saw 10. So, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely be putting out more content as soon as I can. I'm gonna get my Patreon up and running, so hopefully we can, get some subscribers over there. Other than that, man, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. So until next time, when I do movies seen in theater in 2024. Peace.